Good morning, guys. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming along to the channel today. Welcome to everyone who's new or hasn't seen a video of mine before. There's probably quite a lot of you if you are watching this. Yeah, I'm not going to waste you guys' time. We'll go straight into it. I wanted to have a quick look at the Premier League games for this weekend. Sorry about that. Every video there's always a moment where a car's just, or a van in this case, just kind of doesn't look where they're going. Like, it just driving in London just drives you potty. I don't know if anyone else drives in London who's watching this, but they'll understand my pain. Anywho, yeah, I'm going to talk about the game this weekend, have a little preview of the cup final, and yeah, we'll crack on straight into it. Obviously today, Friday, we're going to be getting Tuchel's first England squad as well, so might try and do a little reaction to that, or give my thoughts on it, see who else could have got into it. That is potentially something that I want to do as well. I was debating between doing my own England squad and this video, but I think we'll go for this one, just because by the time I get this out, Tuchel's squad will be announced in a couple of hours, so it's kind of pointless. Anywho, we'll get into it, like I said. So I think there's only one place you can start really, and that's the Carabao Cup final. I do miss calling it the Carling Cup. I think it has such a bit of ring to it. For anyone who's my age, you'll know what I'm talking about, Carling Cup. Yeah, big match, big match, especially for Newcastle and for Liverpool, to be fair. I mean, the league is sewn up, so after today, you could argue Liverpool's season is done. You know, it's mad. It's what, March, then the league's sewn up and their season's basically done. So Liverpool can literally take their foot off the pedal if they want to, and they'll be planning for next season now. That's all they'll be doing. I'm sure they've already started, but as in they can just give their wholehearted attention to next season. They know what they're doing this season. They've already got basically all the money they're going to get in. They know how much they're going to get in from the Premier League, so they can literally plan from now for next season. Whether every other club cannot do that, basically. They're all going to be like, oh, where are we going to finish? How much is that going to get us? How far are we going to get in the cups? What's the manager going to need? Are we going to keep this man? Like, there's none of that uncertainty in Liverpool now. It's just, they'll probably have the most efficient transfer window because they've got everything in place now, so they can just literally work on deals, which clubs do. You know, they work on them outside transfer windows, but don't be surprised if it comes to July and the first 2 weeks they've announced 3 transfer deals, because they've just sewn them all up already, you know. Anyway, enough about that. The actual football itself, the final, big day for Newcastle. I will be rooting for them because I don't really want Liverpool to win another trophy, you know. It hurts me enough that they won the Premier League, never mind the Carabao Cup. So Slot's already overachieving in his first season. I can't have him in the double. Probably will win it. Liverpool obviously come into it as favourites, but as I said before with Newcastle, if you've got Isak starting for you, you can win any game of football basically. Newcastle come into this game within different form. I think they've lost 2, drawn 1. No, sorry, lost 2, won 1. I was literally at the West Ham game. Yeah, so they've not been great in recent times. The Brighton game was the last cup match day a couple of weeks back. Years a loss, so yeah. And then looking at the West Ham game, they did not look convincing. And I said to my mate who's a Newcastle fan, who was at the game with me, if you play like that against Liverpool, you will get slaughtered. And I still stand by that because they were so average. But Newcastle tend to show up for big games. They just do. Trippier, I've seen an interview with Trippier saying that they've learned a lot from the last cup final. Even the club itself has learned a lot. Something about moving the hotel. So they originally I think the last cup final against Man United, they had stayed at the Marriott or whatever, like opposite the stadium, and I think Trippier was like, no, that was obviously a mistake to do that. And I do kind of get that, because it means it builds up in your head more and more. You can literally see the stadium outside your window. So I do get that. It's kind of, sometimes it's better out of sight, out of mind for a while. And kind of mellow the build up as much as you can, especially for a final like that for Newcastle. You know, their first trophy in 50 years, basically. Intertoto Cup does not count. First major trophy for 50 years, or over 50 years, and it would be massive for them. And I think the only way they're going to do it is they're going to have Livermento's going to have the game of his life against Mo Salah, which, don't get me wrong, actually is not an outrageous shout for him to do, because I think he's very capable defensively, and I think if you say to him, look, all you're doing today is just defending, that's all you're doing, I think he stands a chance, because Liverpool will leave Salah up there, and I think that means Newcastle have to leave Livramento back, because they cannot leave Dan Burn and Fabian Schär at the back against Mo Salah. It's just not a fair matchup. You're going to have to leave Livramento back in there, and then let Trippier, maybe they kind of shuffle into like a back three at times, essentially without the ball. Then Trippier will just go forward and try and whip those balls in, which I haven't seen that much of this season. Obviously, Trippier's got a great right foot on him when it comes to whipping the ball in, and I don't understand why I'm not seeing it as much now. You would think, sorry guys, it is early morning, you would think with Isak up front making those runs that Trippier would be able to whip them in for him, but it's not really in their ballpark this season. So yeah, I think if Newcastle are going to do it, it's going to come through Isak, and that's pretty obvious. You need Isak to have a great game, you need Pope to have a good game, and you need Livramento to have everyone has to have a great game, but these guys have to be on top form, basically. So like I look at Pope, and he's been just very off form, that's how I describe it. I mean, I based a lot of my thoughts on Pope there. He was good 2 years ago, he was good till he got his injury last season. Since that injury last season, he's not been the same keeper. The game that sticks in my head this season is when they played Newcastle away from home. And I know keepers have bad games, but Pope has been poor when he's played this season, in my opinion. And if we look back at that Fulham game that I'm talking about, there was one goal in particular, which was the Emil Smith-Rowe goal. He kind of dribbles through the Newcastle defence, kind of like has a very tame shot at Nick Pope, and he just literally goes ooh, and shovels it into his own net. So yeah, I haven't got that much confidence he is going to have a world-class game against Liverpool, and if he doesn't, then they haven't got much hope. But Liverpool aren't perfect, you know, they're not this perfect team that we thought they were at the start of the season. They have slipped up. PSG have given Newcastle a blueprint, actually, of how to do it, and it's high intensity football, trying to dominate the ball and trying to press them, and because Liverpool couldn't cope when that happened to them against PSG. You know, they got choked out of the game. It's high risk, high reward though, that tactic, especially with a team as quick as Liverpool. So they break out the press, then boom, they're straight into your defence. And with Schär and Burn at the back, I'm not sure Newcastle will come into the game doing that. I just don't see them playing that way, unfortunately. So I can see low block Newcastle trying to get Isak free up top, but without Gordon up there to help him, it's gonna be tough for him. Yeah, he's gonna have to have runners. He's gonna have to get Barnes running off him, Murphy running off him, and it's gonna be a tough day for him. But the big players relish the big occasions, so hopefully he would have wrapped himself in cotton wool for this week and he'll be raring to go for Sunday. I think the result in the midweek for Liverpool is actually perfect for Newcastle. I spoke a little bit on it in my preview to the game, what Newcastle would be hoping for, and that's pretty much exactly what Newcastle would have wanted. You know, it was PSG dominating the game in large parts, taking it to extra time and penalties, so it's emotionally draining for Liverpool, and also they've gone out. I think I said in my preview maybe Liverpool win that, but in hindsight, if Liverpool had won that, it would have been an even bigger adrenaline boost for them, and then all of a sudden that 120 minutes feels like 90 minutes. But this 120 minutes will feel a lot longer for them now. They wouldn't have had that much recovery time. Obviously, they've had a day less than Newcastle. Trent looks like he might have picked up an injury. I think Conor Bradley's still out as well, so you're looking at it and you're thinking, who's going to play right back? Is it going to be Quansah, maybe? Is he going to try something different? And then it just gets you thinking, oh, imagine if they had Anthony Gordon on that left wing up against whoever's there. Silly boy got himself sent off, and it was debatable red card, but if the ref gives it, I think you got to stand by it with that situation. But yeah, that's my little preview of it. I think in terms of who's going to win it, it's hard to not say Liverpool. If you're going off everything this season, it just points to Liverpool. I think Newcastle it's tricky. Do I think Newcastle win it in normal time? No. I think if Newcastle win it, it could be on penalties again. It could be an extra time, although if it goes extra time, we've got more resources on the bench, so it's quite tricky. Who has the advantage when it comes to extra time? And you'd probably say Liverpool, but will they be scarred from the week? I'm going to go against everything I've just said. I'm going to go for more out of hope than actual ball knowledge. I'm going to go Newcastle to win. I'm going to go Newcastle 2-1. Isak and Murphy goals. Why not? I reckon Isak will get the assist for the Murphy goal as well. Just put it out there. Why not? Yeah, I think I'll stick with that for my prediction. But yeah, I might try and do a Premier League preview as well. I was actually going to try and squeeze that into this video, but I think there's so much to talk about with this Liverpool-Newcastle game that you need to give it the time of day, you know? Yeah, my heart says 2-1 Newcastle with the Isak and Murphy goals. My head says Liverpool and it's like 3-1. That's what my head says. Salah gets a couple, and maybe Gakpo gets one, and Isak gets a consolation goal. But either way, it should be a great game. As long as Newcastle actually, you know, push Liverpool, and it's not just a one-way traffic the whole game, we can see an exciting cup final. Yeah, up the Magpies.